Hey, okay, so I wanted us to take some time to talk with Father Cody. I know vest seems a big deal in every Sunday that we see all the robes, all the things that they're doing. And I wanted us to take some time kind of behind the scenes to see what he does on a Sunday morning, given prayers and how it looks to vest. So I thought we could kind of come back behind the scenes and walk us through it. Come on with us. Hey, Father Cody.
How's it going?
Good. Thanks for doing this
Yes,
for us.
of course. I'm glad to do it. First things first, we put on a cassock, which is this black Bas Level Robe that's worn. And everyone wears this that serves in our traditional services. So if you're in the choir, if you're a lay server, if you're a priest or a deacon, everybody has this Bas Level. So there's kind of a sense of unity for all of the servers that are involved in the service, that we're all putting this on as a way of hiding behind the cross, putting on Christ, as it were. So I'm always mindful of St. John the Baptist's words that he must increase and I must decrease. And so just this gentle reminder that what I do is not about me. You'll also notice too, there are tons of buttons to put on. And all of this is pretty much intended to slow us down. It's not a process. We don't just race to the altar, and we don't just race into what we're doing. And so this is just this tangible way when we have to take the time to button each button along the way, to be prayerful and to be mindful of what we are about to do, that we're called to do a holy thing. And so it's a way just at the very onset, even in how we dress, to slow down, be prayerful, prepare for what's ahead. Now we're ready to turn to the vestments. The first thing that we put on is this piece, which is called an Amus. And the Amus is the white portion. This is called an apparel. It's just a decoration that matches the liturgical season. So first things first, we put this on our head and prepare it to put the other vestments on. Now, there's kind of two aspects to this vestment piece that's both insanely practical and insanely spiritual. So the first is, back in church history, priests didn't always wash their hair as much as we do now. And so this was just a way to have some sort of covering over as we're putting all these nice decorative vestments on, just to preserve the life of a given vestment. But then we also associate spiritual things to it as well. And so we have a prayer that goes along with it, and it goes like this. It says, "Place, O Lord, the helmet of salvation upon my head, that all the assaults of the devil may be overcome." And that's step one. All right, once the Amus is in place, we then turn to putting on what's called the owl. And we keep the Amus here the entire time until the very last. So this is called an alb. It's kind of an outer garment that goes on top of our cassock. And it kind of ties in as well with this note. I mentioned earlier the words of St. John the Baptist. He must increase, I must decrease. This reminds us of our baptism, how we have been made white in the blood of the Lamb, as the book of Revelation mentions. And so this is a layer that goes on top of that. And the prayer for the alb says, "Cleanse me, O Lord, and purify my heart, that being made white in the blood of the Lamb, I may have the fruition of everlasting joys." So that is the alb. All right. And the next few pieces of vestments are put in a very specific sign. You'll see there's an I, the stole makes a bit of an H, and there's an S on top, which recalls the words that God spoke to Constantine. He said, "In hoc signo vincit," which is in this sign you will conquer. All right, next we put on the Centure, which is this rope that goes around our waist, which is just insanely practical, just to hold things all together. But of course, there is a prayer that goes along with this as well. And And it goes like this. It says, "Gird me about with the girdle of purity, O Lord, and quench in me the fire of concupiscence, so that the grace of temperance and chastity may ever abide within me." You'll notice I'm kind of tying it in an odd way so that it'll hold in the stoles in place, which I will show you next. Next comes the stole, which we always kiss where the two lines come together as we prepare to put it on. There's often crosses that are stitched on that corner as well. And the prayer that goes along with the stole says, "Restore to me, O Lord, the robe of immortality lost by the transgression of my first parents. And although I am not worthy to approach the holy mysteries, yet grant me to obtain life everlasting." Next, we put on the maniple, and people don't really know too much about the history of the maniple, but what they suspect is that it began more as a tool for the priest to be able to wipe his forehead and to cleanse his hands as he's celebrating at the altar. And then as it became less and less used for that purpose, it became more and more decorative instead. And the prayer that goes along with the maniple is, "Enable me, O Lord, so to wear this maniple of tears and sorrow, that I may with joy receive the reward of my labor." And last but not least, we put on what's called the Chazal. And this is the telltale sign as to who is celebrating the service. It doesn't have arms like some of the other vestments. It's just kind of this circular garment piece. So we put this up over from there. And then the Amus goes down like that. And there you have it. We're ready to go. And the prayer that goes along with the Chazal is, "O Lord, who says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light, make me so to bear it that I may attain unto thy grace." Oh yes, one more thing.